Well, welcome along to Added Time. We're going to take an in-depth look at today's game and analyse what has been another defeat, finishing here at Vicarage Road. Watford 1, West Ham 3. Derek, I think the overarching narrative of this one was West Ham took their chances, we simply didn't.
Yeah, it's a story of both boxes for me. It's a saying in football about both boxes. We weren't clinical enough when we were attacking, and I don't think we defended great when we were in our own box. Tom's here now.
Oh, let's get some reaction from one of the players. Come and join us in the middle here, Tom. We would just say, it is another defeat. I think it's safe to say they certainly took their chances. We didn't. But there were positives to be taken from today, so I want to start there. And one of those was you getting a start. When was the last time you started a Watford game?
I think the Premier League was Man City away, so would have preferred a bit of a cooler day to come back into the team. But no, I think you were right. The positives is we created the chances. The negatives is I don't think we were good enough in either box.
Yeah, I want to throw some stats at you actually. I think we had 3 shots on target out of 23 chances. West Ham, on the other hand, had 10 shots on target out of 16. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, well, by those stats, they were much more clinical than us. We were missing quality in the final third today, and the lads were all disappointed, and it just makes next week's game even bigger.
Tom, I was wondering, obviously, it must be a hard defeat to take. How do you feel confidence-wise with the group? Do you feel that everyone's still confident? There's still belief in the group that you can go and put these things right that we're talking about?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a good team spirit, and we've added to that with Dawson, Welbeck, Sarr. They're all good lads. They're all willing to work hard, and there's one thing that can never be questioned about this squad is the work ethic. We'll be in tomorrow, trying to put things right, and that's the belief of us really. Surely it's going to turn if we work as hard as we do.
Can you ask you another thing about, the goals are going in, obviously, defensively. I look at our side today. I'm sure you agree it starts at the front. Do you feel that playing the diamond today, I thought it worked going forward. Defensively, did it leave our fullbacks a little bit isolated?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was quite an open game going both ways, like you said. I think it's creating 23 chances is a good thing, but you need to stop them at the other end as well. So, yeah, I'm sure we'll be working on that, and I think we'll all agree that we were too exposed in the fullback areas and in our own box today.
Speaking of those chances, I do think one big talking point that's going to come out of this is that glaring opportunity that Will Hughes did have. But do you not think, as part of the team, a responsibility does have to be taken that there were so many other chances as well that we didn't take today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, no one's more disappointed than Hughes in there. I've not seen it back, but me personally, I'm disappointed with the one from the corner in the first half. I shouldn't have let it bounce, especially on a dry pitch. I should have took it on the full volley. I think the one with the left foot in the second half was a little bit unlucky, but yeah.
Would you put it? Do you think it's a bit of bad luck then? Would you go as far as saying that?
I wouldn't say that. I just think that everyone has to take accountability for their own performance, and that's the first place to start when you're in a bad run.
Derek kind of touched on it with one of his questions there, but we put the same question really to Ben Foster, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago after the Brighton game. I think a lot of the fans will hit panic stations a little bit at this stage, that it's 3 games now without any points on the board, and some people might look back on last season and start joining the dots there as well. We said to Ben, is there a kind of wider issue here in this squad? What's your answer to that?
No, not at all. I think we're just in a bit of a sticky patch. All I can say is we're working so hard to come out of it. The confidence hasn't gone, and it starts with Coventry on Tuesday and Newcastle on Saturday, and we massively need to win both games heading into an international break. So that's the message I can give.
Tom, I must say, I thought you played really well today. Was you pleased with your own performance? Barring, obviously, the one you should have let.
I think I lacked a little bit of quality in my chances, but no, I felt fit, a little bit tired towards the end of the first half, but I felt fit. It was great to be back on the pitch, playing in a Premier League, and I think there's a lot of good points that I can take from it, but I would have done anything for 3 points today, so disappointed really.
Well done. I thought you had a good game.
Just finally then, what do you think the focus will be in training this week as you prepare? Well, obviously you've got the game midweek as well, but as you prepare for that game, which is now pretty huge, pretty early on, isn't it, the game at Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, we'll be focusing on Tuesday night, like you said, but we'll hopefully get the result there. And then Wednesday is, everyone's got to be on it. And not everyone will know the size of that game and a little bit more because you've got 2 weeks to mull over the result of it as well. So, we'll be as positive as it can be, and fingers crossed. Yeah.
Well, it's great to see you starting today anyway. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
Still looking
Thanks,
pretty
Tom.
red-faced there, those cooling breaks. I think they did the trick, didn't they? But on a day like this, as Tom mentioned at the top, it's always going to be hard work, isn't it? What do you make of what he said there?
Well, I like what I'm hearing, as in that's Ben Foster and now Tom Cleverley, Andre Gray, the three that we've spoke to. The honesty's coming out of them, and that's what you want to hear. You don't want them trying to say, "Oh, we were unlucky. This went against us, that went against us." They're actually very honest, and that's a very honest appraisal from Tom there. And it's glad to see that all of them are honest about the situation. So they're not kidding themselves, and I think that puts them in good stead. But they know, like he said, they all know that they've got to turn the results around as quick as possible, because they'll be aware of confidence can drain really quickly in football. So they know they need a result starting here on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And even a win against Coventry will lift the morale. So they need a morale boosting win Tuesday night to take into Saturday's game.
It's a lot of pressure to have early in the season, is it? As a former player yourself, how do you think they'll mentally be preparing for this one? Or is the idea don't put too much on it? Because the fans will. There's no escaping that.
Yeah, no, they'll try not to put too much on it, exactly how you said, Emma. They won't want to put too much pressure on themselves. There's enough pressure from the outside as there is. So they won't read a lot, they won't listen to a lot. They'll just go into the game, avoid the distractions about we haven't won in 3 games. Is this going to be a problem? Are we going to be in the relegation zone? They have to ignore all that, and they'll be strong enough to ignore that. They're professional people. And then they've just got to go into Newcastle's game knowing that Newcastle haven't started the season well, and try and like we said, get better in both boxes, sort out the small details and get a positive result, and come back here, everyone will feel a lot more happier before the international break.
Yes, well, we will be back here on Tuesday evening for that cup game against Coventry City. In the meantime, there'll be plenty more reaction from today's game across our social media channels, so do make sure you check that out. But here from us on Added Time, we look forward to seeing you next week from St James's Park.
Click here for more videos.